The Nacc podcast, Know the Corruption, Know the Truth.
Welcome to the Nacc podcast, Know the Corruption, Know the Truth. And today's episode, we invited you to know about the results of the assessment of ethics and transparency in the operations of government agencies. There are three interesting English abbreviations. They are abbreviations that play an important role. They are used as tools to raise the standards of government operations according to the indicators of the master plan under the National Strategy on the issue of Anti-Corruption and Misconduct 2018-2037. We are talking about ITA, or the Assessment of Ethics and Transparency in the Operations of Government Agencies. The full English name is Integrity and Transparency Assessment. Today, let's understand and get to know ITA better. We should probably start with the National Anti-Corruption Commission, or the NACC has initiated and developed a tool for assessing ethics and transparency in the operations of government agencies, or ITA, to be used as a positive tool that can indicate the organizational health of government agencies. It is like an annual organizational health checkup tool. The main objectives are to inform government agencies nationwide about the status and problems of their own agency's ethical and transparency operations. The results of the assessment will help government agencies use them to improve and develop their organizations to be more efficient in their operations and services, to facilitate and better respond to the public, which is considered an improvement in the standards of government operations, to create awareness among agencies, and to use the assessment framework to develop work systems, design mechanisms, and establish principles for good governance, strengthen organizational culture, develop measures to promote ethics and transparency, prevent and suppress corruption, and put them into practice in order to create good awareness. To have agencies improve and correct various related work procedures to reduce opportunities and risks of corruption in their agencies. To have agencies prioritize the disclosure of administrative and service information, as well as information that affects the agency's good image, which will effectively reflect transparency in the eyes of both type people and foreigners. ITA is an important proactive anti-corruption measure of the Nacc. ITA is not just a competitive assessment and award, not a criterion for measuring corruption, but a criterion for measuring methods or management systems of each government agency. It is an incentive and push for government agencies to operate more transparently. It can be seen from the creation of criteria that government agencies must disclose various information on their websites in order to enforce the agencies to operate according to the specified criteria. It is also noteworthy that from the results of the development of government agencies according to the ITA assessment framework in the past, it reflects the development that we can clearly and tangibly see through the joint implementation of government agencies nationwide, namely the development in the disclosure of government information and the prevention of corruption. However, this ITA is different from the assessment of other agencies. For example, it is an assessment using direct data or primary source, while the CPI uses secondary source data, etc. At this point, many people may wonder what are the advantages and strengths of the data. It must be said that the development of agencies according to the ITA assessment framework will help make the operations or services of government agencies more transparent, reduce the opportunities for corruption, improve the quality of services to the public, increase convenience for those contacting or receiving services from government agencies, increase the potential of the public to access government information, help the private sector to make transactions faster, help the public access the government at all times, help the operations of government agencies more efficient, help increase income and reduce expenses. I would like to explain it in a simple way how, for example, reduce the opportunities for corruption, how improve the quality of services to the public, how does it help speed up private sector transactions? Many organizations may view ITA as a burden or a hassle, but in reality, ITA is a comprehensive assessment of government agencies in all dimensions of government operations. The assessment results through scores. Each number is proof that reflects transparency, reflects efficiency, and reflects the rule of law through good governance principles, all of which are meaningful and valuable. Ultimately, it also reflects government agencies in all dimensions of their operations. ITA is an important tool that leads to the elevation of the Thai government in one way. The assessment of ethics has been initiated, researched, and designed assessment tools since the fiscal year 2009. The assessment was first conducted in the fiscal year 2012 and has continued until now. The assessment tools have been developed continuously. Currently, the Nacc have prepared anti-corruption officers nationwide to perform their duties through training and practice by qualified persons with experience in ethics assessment. This is both academic and practical learning, as well as monitoring the work and providing advice throughout the assessment period. This is to ensure that the ethics assessment conducted by the Nacc will be conducted in accordance with academic principles and efficiently. And it is the same standard throughout the country. In the fiscal year 2024, the Nacc has conducted an assessment of ethics and transparency in the operations of government agencies. The government, together with government agencies assigned by the Cabinet Resolution on January 4, 2022, is responsible for supervising the assessment and pushing for implementation of the assessment guidelines set within various types of government agencies, including the Office of the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Interior, the Office of the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovation, the Office of the National Anti-Corruption Commission, the Office of the Civil Service Commission, the State Enterprise Policy Commission, the Comptroller General's Department, provincial governors and district officers nationwide, as well as agencies involved in the assessment. The objective is to inform government agencies participating in the assessment of the situation regarding ethics and transparency operations, as well as promote and develop government agencies to be able to use the assessment results to improve and develop the organization for efficiency in terms of operations, services, and facilitation for the public. In this regard, the Nacc has conducted an assessment of ethics and transparency in operations of government agencies and integrity and transparency assessment, ITA, for fiscal year 2024 until it was completed within the specified time frame, with a process of supervision, control, and screening in order. It has also collaborated with the National Statistical Office and the Office of the National Anti-Corruption Commission to consider and provide academic suggestions to ensure that the assessment is correct and meets the same standards, along with the Ethics and Transparency Assessment Committee. The process and evaluation results have been considered and filtered. Therefore, the Nacc Board at the 75,567 meeting on July 24, 2567, resolved to approve the results of the assessment of ethics and transparency in the operations of government agencies, the Integrity and Transparency Assessment, ITA, for fiscal year 2567. It is sincerely hoped that government agencies will use the assessment results to improve and develop themselves to be transparent and in accordance with the principles of good governance. Government agencies participating in the assessment and interested parties can obtain details of the assessment results from the ITAS system at https://nacc.go.th from today onwards. Honest, fair, professional, transparent, and verifiable. Office of the National Anti-Corruption Commission.